Okay, so this year we've done a lot with foiling. With foiling, you're multiplying out two binomials using first, outer, inner, last. So the first two terms go to x squared, the outer terms go to 6x, inner terms go to negative 3x, and the last terms go to negative 18. If you combine like terms, you end up with x squared plus 3x minus 18. Now that is our standard form. In factoring, you're moving from the standard form back to the factored form, or the multiplication of two binomials. You should notice that these two numbers, which are our two factors, will always add to give us our value of b, so we know that 6 plus negative 3 is 3, and they multiply to give us our value of c, because negative 3 times 6 is negative 18. Make sure you double check your work. So in factoring, there's 4 different cases that you'll see. The first one that we're going to look at is where our b value and our c value are both positive. So we're looking for two numbers that are going to add to give us 5 and multiply to give us 6. There are many possibilities of numbers that will add to give us 5, but there's a finite list of numbers that multiply to give us 6. In this case, if both the b and c value are positive, we're looking for two positive factors. So we'll look at factors of 6, that's 1 and 6, 2 and 3. I always put the smaller factor here and its larger counterpart on the other side. You'll see why later. So if we add each together, 1 plus 6 is 7, 2 plus 3 is 5. So this is going to be the pair we're looking for because they're both positive. It's x plus 2, x plus 3. Now in the next case, our b value is negative, but our c value is positive. Now that only happens when both the factors we're looking for are negative. Why? Because two negative numbers that multiply with each other will give you a positive value, but when added will give you a negative value. So we have 1 and 60, 2 and 30, 3 and 20, 4 and 15, 5 and 12, 6 and 10. Now like I said, both of them are negative. And if you add them all up, negative 6 and negative 10 are going to add to give us negative 16. So it's x minus 6, x minus 10. These signs should always match. The next case is where our b value is positive, but our c value is negative. Now, when two numbers multiply, if they give you a negative value, that means one of them is negative. But if they're adding to give you a positive value, then the smaller factor is going to be the negative one, because when added with a larger positive value, the sum will always be positive. So we're looking for negative 24. So we have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. And like I said, the smaller factors are negative. If you add these up, negative 3 and 8 is going to add to give us positive 5. So we have x minus 3, x plus 8. Now our last case is where both the b and the c value are negative. In this case, if c is negative, we know one of the factors has to be negative, but if b is also negative, we know that the larger factor has to be the negative one, because when added with a smaller positive value, its sum will always be negative. So we're looking for negative 32, 1 and 32, 2 and 16, 4 and 8. I think that's it. And like I said, the larger one is negative. When added together, this 4 and negative 8 will add to give us negative 4. So our factored form is x plus 4, x minus 8. And that's factoring.